Broken Family Part 5. After 3 grueling years working in the Middle East, Lisa finally returned home to her grandmother. She had hoped for at least a small bit of warmth, maybe even happiness from her grandmother, but instead, she was met with cold disappointment. Her grandmother demanded she find work again immediately, seeing her only as a means for money. Reluctantly, and with little choice, Lisa set off toward the city to find a job, but fate took another harsh turn. Her uncle intercepted her along the way, deceiving her and taking all the money she had. Instead of helping her, he left Lisa at her third brother's house. Although her brother welcomed her with open arms, his wife was not pleased and made it clear that Lisa was an inconvenience. Once again feeling alone, Lisa returned to the placement agency to seek work abroad. This time, she was sent to an Asian country, where she worked for a Chinese family. Her new employer was difficult, constantly criticizing her and barely providing enough food. The hunger wore her down, making her thin and weak, but Lisa kept on, carving out tiny moments to study, determined to hold on to her dreams of education. After 2 years, Lisa saved enough to return home, but this time, she made a difficult decision. Instead of going back to her grandmother's, she went to her aunt's house, where she felt there might be a sliver of understanding. Her grandmother, furious at this rejection, disowned her, going so far as to banish her brother from the family home and renouncing Lisa as her granddaughter. That night, as she looked up at the stars, Lisa whispered, "Mom, if only you knew how broken my heart is. Please come back." Trying to make peace with her circumstances, Lisa stayed with her aunt for 2 weeks, then traveled to the city to live with her third brother. In the city, she finally enrolled in school and graduated with high marks. At 19, Lisa felt she was starting to reclaim a bit of her life. She returned to the Middle East, this time working as a babysitter. Her language skills and experience landed her a part-time job at a restaurant, where she worked hard and continued her studies online. One day, she met Roy. He was kind, compassionate, and attentive, everything Lisa had longed for. Over 10 beautiful months, Lisa fell deeply in love, feeling safe and hopeful for the first time. Roy promised her a future together, one she could imagine escaping into. But, as always, life had a cruel twist waiting. Roy told Lisa he needed to go back to his country for a short visit and promised to return, but when he came back, he was distant and avoided her entirely. Heartbroken and confused, Lisa reached out to Roy's friend, John, who finally revealed the truth. Roy had married another woman during his trip. Devastated, Lisa felt adrift once again. In her despair, she found comfort in John, who claimed to be single and quickly became her support. They grew close, and Lisa began a new relationship, seeking solace in John's kindness. But her heartbreak wasn't over. Months later, Lisa discovered the devastating truth: John was already married with children. It felt as if her entire world had shattered all over again. As she struggled to pull herself together, her phone rang one night. She answered to hear a voice she had longed for since she was a child. It was her mother, who, after so many years, had finally reached out, and she was ill. To be continued. Please subscribe for the next chapter of Lisa's journey.